today we have Khalid with us. He's working in Honda as an R&D engineer. Welcome, Khalid. Um, the
Thank you, Sonali.
idea,
Thank you.
yeah, the idea of this conversation is basically to understand, what decisions and what decisions regarding your career path you have taken till now, and how have you reached where you are today, right? So I'll start with the first question that we have, and which is that if you can just help us understand a little bit about yourself and give a very brief, background about you.
Sure. So, as my name's already clear, hi guys, I'm Khalid. I belong to Jaipur, Rajasthan, and I'm a graduate from Manipal Institute of Technology in Mechatronics Engineering, 2016 batch. Uh, right after my college, I was placed into Yamaha R&D. I worked there a little close to 2.5 years, and then from around 2 years, I've been working with Honda two-wheeler R&D in Gurgaon. So that's a little brief about my background so far.
So Khalid, can you help us understand, after 4 years of engineering, like you were in college in mechatronics, right? So there are multiple opportunities that people have in terms of pursuing different career options, right? Either you can go for a core job, or you can go for a non-core job, or you can do something different altogether. So what was
That's
your
true.
thought process? What was your thought process like when you were looking at the first job after engineering and you went to Yamaha, right? So if you can just walk me
So,
through the process there.
so I guess if we ask now, it seems way too simple to choose what you want to do. But if you ask me 4 years back, did
Right.
I know my choices well? So I would say not really, because I think most of us who've been working in the industry, any industry, after college, we do end up realizing one thing, that when we are in college, we do know what kind of work we want to do, what kind of jobs would be, we would be interested in, or we would enjoy. But then the opportunities are never so even. Not so. I won't say they are not equal, but for example, if you want to work in an XYZ particular field, maybe the opportunities in that field are lesser, or maybe your college does not have the companies coming in which cater to those kind of jobs. So those are some tough challenges. Thankfully, I didn't have this challenge. So Manipal helped a lot in that, giving us the right opportunities. There is a huge luck factor which plays when it comes to college placements. It has to be your day. Of course, you need to have your talent. You need to have your mind clear that if you are willing to go ahead with this job or not. There's only so much that you can lie in an interview. And the interviewer is not a stupid person.
Yeah.
They can read you. They can understand how long you're going to be there, how much you are interested in the job. So you need to show your interest. In my case, the biggest driving factor for me was these were one of those rare opportunities which I was getting because I always wanted to work in automobile, although I was from mechatronics, but I always
Mm.
had an inclination to automobile. I had done projects and my open electives and been part of startups and everything. So I really wanted to go there. And I think it played out because I was clear that if
Mm.
I want this job, then why do I want this job?
Right.
So if that is clear for you, it can be anything. Like even if you don't know something, once you get the company profile, once the company comes to your college and gives you a pre-placement talk or just sends out a job profile, you can sense if you would want to work on this or not. Of course, when you are in college, you do not know what exactly is happening in the industry. If back in the college, some senior of mine would have come and told me that, listen, this is the reality, or probably people did tell us. I would say that I have an elder brother, and I guess he did tell me, because he's like 3 years elder to me, and he did tell me that once you get into industry, things are going to be very different from what you think they are. So that is, I won't say people did not tell me about it, but rather I would say that I was not ready to accept it.
you had some expectations about how your job will be before joining, right? Before joining
Correct.
Yamaha. And then you spent around 2.5 years there, and now you are in Honda. So if you can just walk us through, like, how has your day-to-day been like, working in these firms? How has it evolved in these last 4 years, and what are you doing right now? So if you can just give a snippet about that.
Being in automotive R&D when I joined, there was a new team forming up, which was solely focusing the cost reduction part. It was not the core, R&D. It was more like reverse engineering, you can say. It was more like
Hmm.
that. But unfortunately, and I would say actually fortunately, I was made to work in that team. I was put in that team. So I was not happy because I thought I had come for the design work. I wanted to be an engine designer, and why would they, let someone else or some other country do this task? So for them, the overseas locations are not completely for R&D, but mostly for development support in that country because they need to sell
Hmm.
products in that country. So that core level of, or the basic actual level of design was not happening.
Hmm.
And it took me a while to realize that. And the biggest thing I realized, Yamaha being a Japanese brand, and engine being a heart of any vehicle, definitely they were not doing the R&D in India. They
Hmm.
had their established R&D back in Japan. But then the best thing I would say what happened to me in Yamaha was being put in the cost innovation team,
Hmm.
because so we were kind of working on reverse engineering, and we would have our own vehicle, we would have competitor vehicles, we would tear them apart, we would tear them down actually, and compare each and every part, the whole structure of the vehicle. And this led me to the opportunity of being able to work on engine. I mean, being able to have hands-on experience on engines. So I had engines in front of me, and my responsibilities were like open it up and study
Hmm.
the structure, study the part, study why something is like what it is, and study why your company is doing this. So once you go into the why, so in Japanese culture or any Japanese company, the biggest thing is why. There has to be a why for everything, or you are supposed to ask a why for everything. So that's how Japanese automotive industry or Japanese culture works. So this was a thing which was inculcated in me when I was working in Yamaha. Now, once I moved to Honda, because my role became more specific over here, I am engine designer, so it became more specific. But having this knowledge from Yamaha helped me a lot, because a designer's work is also related to all of these somewhere or other. So that was a very big learning for me, because even now till date, when I do work in Honda, I can relate. If there is a problem, or if I need some answers, I know whom to ask, how this problem might have happened or whatever, something like that. So I think over a period of time, when you keep working, and especially if I talk about R&D, then in Japanese companies there is a concept of on-job training, which sounds weird, but it is actually the best thing that can happen, because they don't teach you things in classrooms or by lecture sessions. Rather, they give you opportunity to work on something while you also learn about that. So that is the best path that I have followed so far, and I think I'm still following it. That whatever I work on, at least one or two things are new to me sometime or other. So it has been a journey in that manner. So when I joined Honda after approximately a year, a little over a year, so far this has been the best opportunity that I've got. I went to Japan R&D along with a senior. We did some incredible work. I don't want to boast about it, but honestly, we did a huge amount of work in a very less amount of time, and which everyone thought was not going to be possible.
Khalid, just like going a little back towards your college days, right? So you were like somewhat clear that you want to go for automobile, but then you were also looking at different opportunities, right? Just because we always want to be like, we need a job, right?
Correct.
So you were applying to other companies as well. And in the end, obviously, it worked out well for you. But if you think about students now who are going to make this decision, right? What would be your suggestion on things that they should keep in mind when they are trying to, pursue a job right after college?
First thing, foremost thing is do not apply for a job just because your friend is applying, or just because the company's name is big, or just because the salary is too high. If you are not interested in something and you still apply and you still get into, it is going to be a nightmare for you. So do not do that. I know it's very difficult. No one knows what they want, what they do not want. It's always unclear, of course. Even if you ask me today that what's my future plan, I don't have something clearly written on a piece of paper that this. I would just say that apply for good opportunities, not for every opportunity. If you have something clear in your head that this is the field, or this is the type of company, or this is the kind of work I would at least want to experience, then give more than your 100% for that.
I think so. From what I hear from you, it's more like you have to be aware of the opportunities that you want to sit for, and
Definitely.
if you are presented with those opportunities, then you should also go ahead with them, right? You should at least give it a shot rather than thinking about other things like maybe pay or something like that. If you are getting that opportunity, then you should apply for it, right? Khalid, I mean, you have been working for around 4 years now, right? So have you ever thought about higher studies, maybe an MS or an MBA? Like, have you ever given a thought about to these things? And are you like thinking of these things?
So I did write GRE. I did give a thought to MS and everything. I had my score and everything. But the thing is that I did not apply for it, or I did not apply to colleges because I was presented with the opportunities from the company itself. I was getting good opportunities, so again, something certain, something uncertain. So I chose the certain thing, which was right in front of me. One thing was that. Second thing was my field, on being an automotive R&D. It's a very niche field. There are not a lot of opportunities out there in the world, even if you go to any other country. And knowing that there are language issues, there are nationality issues, there are visa issues. I mean, getting a job, in terms of getting a job, not talking about something else. So considering all these issues, I thought the uncertainty was very high. And at the same time, because I was lucky enough to get the opportunities, so I chose against it. But if I did not have the opportunities, definitely I would have gone ahead for an MS in automotive engineering.
Sure. So for now, if I understand correctly, I mean, because you are enjoying the work that you have, and you do not see probably the benefit that an MS would give you at this point of time, right?
Okay. Correct.
Makes sense. And this brings me to the last question that I have for you before we wrap up, which is that what would be your advice to people who are exploring different career paths right now and could be looking at a career path which is similar to yours? What would be your advice for those?
So first of all, people who are looking for a career path similar to mine, who are interested in automotive R&D or manufacturing, or being part of an automotive company. Most important part I would want to say is the industry is a little overhyped. It looks cool from outside, making cars, making bikes. It is not as much as cool as it seems. So please be clear of that. Do not have unrealistic expectations that you will get to do crazy amount of work, or from day one itself. I mean, the day you crack an R&D job, it is not going to be the best of your opportunities from the day one itself. It will take its own time, because this is something, automotive R&D or even any kind of R&D is something which already has a lot of established data. There are some things that you would already know. There are some things that you would not know. So be patient. Very importantly, be patient. Try and understand what is happening. What do you want to do, and what is actually happening. try and align yourself, give it some time, have patience, and go with the flow. And eventually, things will start happening as the way you would want to do them. If you are interested enough, if you show your interest enough, do not give up. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying keep your interest alive, but do justice to the work that you have in hand. And know the reality. Very important. Know the reality that, from here, how can your career path look in XYZ company? That is very important.
Thank you so much, Khalid, for doing this. I think a lot of people who are making this choice today and are thinking about how to go about their career, I think these points will really be helpful for them. So
I
thank
hope
you
so
so
too.
much again. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.